News every 15 minutes, weather every 10, and sports twice an hour.
Newstalk, KGVO, AM 1290 and 101.5 FM.
You're listening to Montana Morning with Peter Christian.
In Ravalli County, Stage 1 restrictions are now in effect. Good morning, everyone. Montana Morning for Tuesday, August 9th, 2016. Skies partly cloudy. We've got 52 degrees in Missoula right now. Our newscast this morning, sponsored by Spray Green Lawn, providing lawn aeration, fertilization, and weed control. Save 15% off your first application by mentioning this message at 207-9273. As of 12:01 this morning, Stage 1 fire restrictions are in place in Ravalli County. Under Sheriff Steve Holden said the county commissioners enacted the resolution Monday to take effect at midnight and described the restrictions that will be in place until further notice.
People cannot build, maintain, attend, or use a campfire, with some exceptions. One of those would be written authorization from the Board of Commissioners. Propane or liquid-fueled barbecues are just fine, but they have to be, as long as they're placed in an area that doesn't have fuel or anything combustible within 3 feet of the barbecue.
Holden said the weekend brought a great deal of joy, though, to many residents who were all allowed to return to their homes.
So everybody is home now. We still have a little bit of a Stage 1 area from North Gold Creek south to Lost Horse, and then west of the highway. That alert and warning area, but everybody is in their homes right now.
Now, you can see all the restrictions on our website at newstalkkgvo.com. They'll be instituted in Missoula within the next week or so as well. Holden said the restrictions are in place to help keep any more human-caused fires from getting started. 2 Bozeman men have filed a complaint with the Human Rights Bureau, alleging the State Division of Child and Family Services discriminated against them as they sought to adopt a foster child. Luis and Joseph De Serrano told the Bozeman Daily Chronicle that state employees subjected them to anti-gay comments, sabotaged their application, and that one worker told them, quote, they'd be, quote, at the bottom of my list, end quote, for foster placements. State officials say the baby boy, who was born with marijuana and methamphetamine in his system, was placed with a relative, and that family placements take priority over a foster placement. The agency says it does place foster children with same-sex couples. The De Serranos argue the agency delayed processing their application and checking their references, covered up and backdated documents, and fast-tracked moving the baby out of their home. A Missoula couple were both killed in a rollover accident on Homestake Pass Sunday morning. The Butte Silver Bowl Coroner's Office confirmed 46-year-old Lester Monroe Sr. and 34-year-old Margaret Monroe of Missoula died as a result of an accident just outside Butte. Highway Patrol Trooper Gail Keith said the accident occurred at about 8:45 Sunday morning.
It happened at mile marker 228. The vehicle was eastbound on I-90. The vehicle swerved left from the driving lane into the median. The driver overcorrected back onto the interstate. Vehicle rolled, came to rest on its wheels off the right side of the interstate.
Keith said only one of the occupants of the vehicle was wearing a seatbelt.
Well, the driver was unbuckled. The passenger was buckled. The driver was trounced at the scene and passenger later at the hospital.
Keith said neither alcohol nor excessive speed seemed to have played a part in the fatal crash, which is still under investigation. Bear trapping efforts are underway at Yellowstone National Park as part of an annual Count for the Animals. The Cody Enterprise reports biologists began trapping grizzly bears at the park Monday and will continue through October 31st. A spokeswoman for the Interagency Grizzly Bear Study Team, Susanna Solio, said most of the trapping will be conducted away from visitors. Signs warning of closed areas because of the bear work have been posted for hikers who venture into the backcountry. The trapping is part of an ongoing study of Yellowstone grizzlies and mandated by the Endangered Species Act. This year's animal count comes as the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service has proposed lifting threatened species protections for Yellowstone area grizzlies. The agency contends the bears are now a recovered species. Missoula police were involved in a high-speed chase. According to Missoula Police Public Information Officer Travis Welsh, an officer noticed suspicious activity at the Orange Street Bridge at around 12:30 in the morning.
An officer observed 2 vehicles obviously racing across the Orange Street Bridge. He attempted to initiate a traffic stop. The vehicles failed to yield. At one point, they split up. The officer stayed with one of the vehicles, which led him on a pursuit through town and eventually ended in the 500 block of Iowa.
After the car pulled over in East Missoula, the suspect, now identified as Alan Kite, tried to flee and hide.
The male did attempt to flee on foot However, when a perimeter had been established, he came out of some brush and identified himself as the driver.
Kite is now facing 8 different charges, most of which were a result of the chase, including speeding, failure to yield, traveling in the wrong direction on a one-way street, stop sign violations, criminal endangerment, and eluding a police officer, sometimes at speeds over 100 miles per hour. A former Blackfeet Tribal Councilwoman wants to withdraw her guilty plea to federal charges of harboring a fugitive and lying to authorities. Cheryl Little Dog's new attorney filed the request Monday. Federal public defender Anthony Gallagher said Little Dog's previous attorney pressured her to plead guilty, and she did not have enough time to consider the consequences. Little Dog said she wants the case to go to trial. U.S. District Judge Brian Morse did not make an immediate ruling. U.S. Marshals and FBI agents were searching last October for a man who was wanted in South Dakota on charges of molesting an 8-year-old girl. Prosecutors say Little Dog initially told authorities that Frank Gallardo was not in her home. She later gave the officers permission to search, and they found him hiding in a crawl space. The number of driving under the influence cases surrounding Missoula's Testy Fest appears to be on the decline, according to Montana Highway Patrol Captain Jim Kitchen.
Things went pretty smooth this year. Got a couple of DUIs out of there, some suspended drivers, got some drugs. But overall, everybody drove good. Things were great. We had a couple of DUI crashes in the county area here, but nothing really significant with the Testy Fest, so it went really good.
Kitchen says law enforcement has been making a presence at the Testy Fest for at least 20 years now, and next year will be no exception.
We're already planning on next year. We're going to do the same type of deal. We're going to go out there and saturate so we make sure that nobody gets in trouble, and hopefully it'll be the same.
All in all, Kitchen estimates there were just 5 individuals in custody for crimes related to the Testy Fest, including 2 DUIs and a handful of drug-related cases. Several Alaska fire crews have been sent to help battle blazes in other parts of the western U.S. as the state's fire season winds down. A local television station in Alaska reports Alaska Fire spokeswoman Beth Ibsen said 100 firefighters are assisting crews near Idaho City, Idaho, where a fire has covered about 76 square miles. There are also Alaska crews working in Montana and Oregon. Ibsen says additional crews from Alaska's villages could be deployed if fire season in the lower 48 continues to intensify. Alaska's fire season has consisted of more than 500 fires that torched about 780 square miles, which Ibsen says is less damage than the state's yearly average. She says there is currently about 80 fires burning in Alaska. Our News Talk time is 6:12.
News Talk, KGVO.
Missoula's official weather station.
Mostly cloudy to cloudy skies with scattered showers and thunderstorms expected today and Wednesday. Daytime highs will be a few degrees below normal as we stay in the mid to low 70s with our overnight lows in the upper 40s. I'm meteorologist Brooke Foster for KECI 13.